the Distractaholics Podcast. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Morgan.
And Morgan, we did something really fun.
We did.
Where'd we go?
We went to Country Heritage Winery in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
It was very fun. This was my first trip to a winery. And you may have listened to a couple weeks ago, it was my first trip to a brewery. So this podcast seems to be expanding my horizons quite a bit.
We're just breaking Tyler out of his shell here.
Before we talk about our awesome experience there, you have to tell people where they can find us.
You, the people, can find us on YouTube, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and our website, Distractaholics.com. Did I forget something? I feel like I forgot something. Oh, yeah, you can email us at distractaholics@gmail.com. Find us on the Instagram, and I've just given up on Twitter, I'll be honest.
Okay, so we've got a list of stuff that we go through and talk about at these fancy locations that we go to. So, Morgan, let me give you my first impression when we drove up.
Because like we said, this was Tyler's first time to a winery ever. I have been to this winery several times. We actually went to it for one of my bachelorette parties. Only been married once, but had multiple bachelorette parties. Thanks for wondering.
Hold on, I'm doing some math. I have so many questions now. You can't do that to me.
It's to the same person. I just had 2 bachelorette parties for the same wedding.
All right, I'll ask about it later. Okay.
You were really concerned for a second.
There was no judgment there. It was something I thought I was learning. Okay, so you pull up and you come down that little lane with the vines on each side. Oh, so cool.
The vineyard.
The vineyard feel.
We are so unsophisticated.
It's fine.
We will probably use all the improper terms here. Although we were trying to educate ourselves in the winery verbiage.
Yes, you did. Did you stop to smell the bouquet? Is that the right term?
I don't know. My husband was the one that was asking, and I thought he was just annoying the guy, so I told him to stop.
No, he was enjoying himself. The guy that was doing the... Okay, we'll get there.
I know.
All right,
okay.
You pull up. This place was huge. I did not expect it to be this big.
And it hasn't always been that way. The first couple times I had been there, it was maybe half the size. So they really expanded. When were they founded?
I don't think...
Do you have that information?
I don't know that it said it on the website. I know that they had pictures inside that showed like a before and after. There's no
I was
years.
thinking like 2015, maybe? Maybe I made that up. But for some reason, I was thinking 2015. So they've grown a lot in a small amount of time.
And I actually don't even know what was in some of these other buildings because the part of the building that we were in with like the bar and the wine tasting area was actually really small. Mm-hmm. So I assume the rest of it is where they're actually making the wine. And then there was another building to the back that almost had a country store look, but we didn't really go back there to check it out.
Yeah. There's a lot of extra building space, and then they have a huge outdoor area, which was amazing.
Yes. I'm a person that likes to sit outside if given the option, and if it's not too windy so it won't mess up my hair. So when we had the opportunity to sit outside, I was all over it. So first trip, don't judge. Listen, actually you can judge, I don't care.
Everyone's judging.
I didn't.
Because apparently we're all judgy people.
There's nothing
which I also
wrong.
I also learned at this winery trip that I'm a very judgy person, according to everyone I went with.
That's not what I said. I said, actually, that's exactly what I said. I said there's nothing wrong with being judgy.
All right, let us judge you on your wine selection.
I was unfamiliar with what a wine tasting was. Okay, so they said, here's this piece of paper. You can choose 6 wines off here, and for $5, you could try a little selection of those 6 wines. I was amazed because that sounds...
His eyes lit up.
That's awesome because I don't know what wine I'm going to like because I'm so picky with wine. There's 2 halves to this piece of paper that they give you. The one side is the sweet and dessert wines, and the other side is the dry wines, the semi-dry wines, and the semi-sweet wines. So all of mine selection is from the right half of the sheet of paper where it was sweet and dessert wines. And Morgan's selections, I believe, were all on the complete opposite side.
Not all of them, because I wanted to try, I don't know, I decided to try different ones. And I should not. They don't have very many dry whites, and I'm not a huge fan of dry reds. So I decided to go with some sweet, and that was a mistake. I made a terrible mistake. But Tyler, what do we learn about wine tasting and where do you start?
We have an unreleased episode that at some point we are going to master and release. It was hard because we were a smidge smashed.
A little.
And we learned not only from that podcast that we never released, but here that you should always start with the dry wines and make your way to the most sweet. So that was the reason that they were laid out on this piece of paper that way.
Yes, what would you call him? Our wine director of
I like
the
to think he
evening?
was our
tasting director.
I like to think he was our wine connoisseur.
Our wine connoisseur guide, our Mr. Miyagi of wine.
Yes.
I've never seen that movie, so
You've
I
never
don't really even know what I'm
You've
talking
never seen
about.
Kung Fu Kid? Is that the name of the movie? I've also never seen it.
It's Karate Kid.
You knew the name. That was better.
Anyways, so our gentleman who was guiding us in all this was very helpful and answered a lot of our questions, and that was very nice. He seemed a little irritated, but not too
I didn't think
irritated.
he sounded irritated at all.
I'm sure he has to deal with a lot of miscreants. So, but yeah, so we start with the dries and we go to the sweet. And Tyler, what wine did you start with?
I started with the Heritage Red, which they describe as Concord grape jelly in a glass. Sorry, I couldn't read the small writing on this. Morgan, it was so good. I was like, oh man, this is a good way to start this off.
I have had the Heritage Red before. I don't think I'd like it now. I think it would taste like syrup.
It's so good. Don't listen to Morgan. I may or may not have gotten several bottles of it to go.
Yeah, we'll talk about our haul after we get through this. What was your next one?
My next was the Just Peachy, and that was also excellent.
I did try this one, and I thought it was awful.
But your husband liked it.
But my husband did like it. We bought 2 bottles.
I also bought 2 bottles.
And
they're so cool. They came in like jugs. And I don't know what I'm going to use the jug for, but I'm keeping it.
Yeah, it's cute.
Morgan, what did you start with? Because you started on the complete opposite side.
I did. I started with a Sauvignon Blanc, and it was amazing.
May I interject?
I would think you're going to either way.
So you asked me to guess which wine you started with.
Yes,
Did I nail it?
You did. Well, first you said Pinot Grigio, which they had a Pinot Grigio, but it was not for the tasting. So, which that would have been my go-to one to start with. But I did start with the Sauvignon Blanc, and I really, really loved it. Next one was Treminette. Treminette, is that how you say it?
Treminette.
It is. It is described as one of our most award-winning floral notes and a touch of lemon. I'm a big citrus lemon type person, so that's why I went for this one. It was all right. Not my favorite, but definitely not the worst that I had in this tasting.
I then went with the blissful blackberry and the blueberry, which was actually, the blueberry was a dessert wine. They were both okay. I did not feel the need to get bottles of those to go.
All right.
In your next 2 wines, Morgan?
I tried the Marquette Rose, and then I think my next one was the Summer Splash. Marquette Rose, I did not like. No, it was not for me. One of our companions liked it, so I decided to go for it, and I was not a fan. And then after that, I tried the Summer Splash, which I think I've had before, and I thought I really liked it, but this time I wasn't a fan.
Interesting. That actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think my palate is changing as I continue to age and blossom into
a sophisticated,
a beautiful, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm a flower of any sort because I don't really like flowers.
A butterfly.
I'm a beautiful butterfly. Anyways, what was your, you have 2 more choices still. Jeez.
And I went with Black Silk and Red Satin, which are actually their most expensive wines that were on the list for tasting. The Black Silk was so good. I know Morgan also tried this. Don't listen to her. It was so good.
I took a taste of my husband's because he really liked it too, and I thought it was absolutely disgusting.
So what you're saying is your husband and I are compatible people.
Maybe. Opposites attract, they say.
Yeah. Okay. The Red Satin was also really good, but it's funny because your husband said the same thing. It was different and I liked it, but I can't put my my tongue on exactly what it was about it that I liked. It kind of kept going. The flavors changed a little bit the longer it kind of sat in your mouth, which sounds weird, but that's the way it was.
It's like the Willy Wonka candy where it's like the whole meal in your mouth.
It was interesting. I would drink it again, but the $30 a bottle price tag is probably a bit much for me.
Yeah, a little bit. So the last two that I had, I tried the strawberry blush. I need to just stick with what I know that I like instead of trying to branch out because
no, never.
This one was described as a sweet rose wine blended with strawberries and white Zinfandel. I enjoy white Zinfandel. I did not enjoy this. It was way, way, way too sweet for my taste. The last one I tried was the seasonal slushie, which they do have slushies there, which is amazing because slushies are fun. It was sweet, so I digress. I'm not a sweet person, apparently. Who knew? But it was cool. It was refreshing. I think wine slushies are a brilliant idea, so I would probably try it again.
So admittedly, Morgan, after my 6 wine samples, I was a bit inebriated because I had run that morning and hadn't eaten anything.
And then, yeah.
And consumed no water other than some Gatorades.
We make smart decisions.
So I knew I was going to have a problem, and I was so glad that they had food.
Yes, they did have food. What did you get? Are we going to run down their menu here?
Yeah, we can go pretty quick. It's an easy menu. So I had pizza because that sounded good. They were 10-inch artisan pizzas. I don't know what the difference between a regular pizza and an artisan pizza is exactly, but I just had a cheese pizza.
No idea.
I don't really like a bunch of stuff on pizza. It's not that I don't like it. It's that I don't need it. So I just got a cheese pizza and I eat the entire thing like an animal whilst consuming an entire bottle of the Heritage red wine.
Yes. And I got their special that day was a buffalo chicken pizza. And I got that and it was delicious. And I also ate the entire thing. We got some bottles to go to our table. They do have ciders there. So I got a glass of cider and that was really, really good. I just had the plain apple cider and it was amazing.
Morgan, was it like a really dry cider?
No.
Okay, good.
No, it wasn't anything super dry or anything super sweet. It's kind of just in the middle.
Okay.
Which I think that appeases a lot of people.
I realized I hadn't asked you about that, and I'm struggling to find ciders that I like.
Really?
Yeah, like the cider boys are good,
cider.
but a lot of the
I've never
other stuff,
had those.
Yeah, they're good. They're pretty good. But they had other kind of pizzas. I didn't even see the buffalo chicken pizza is not even on this menu, but they had
it was just
garlic.
their special for the day.
Okay. But they had cheesy garlic bread, cheese pizza, veggie pizza, pepperoni pizza, barbecue chicken pizza, meat supreme and margarita pizza, nachos, plain old nachos, pulled pork nachos, which actually
yeah, that sounds really good.
And they had pulled pork sandwiches, mac and cheese sub.
Yeah.
I didn't even make it to the back of that menu.
You can add pulled pork to it.
I didn't make it to the back part of the menu. I saw the pizza and was stuck there.
He was so hungry.
I was. And then they had some other stuff that you actually ordered one of.
Yes, we got these were the shareables in small bites. They had a heritage charcuterie board, hummus trio, mac and cheese, and the dessert charcuterie board, which we got and shared with the table, and it was really good.
Charcuterie.
Bunch of little snacky foods, so it was really nice.
Whilst we sat around and reminisced and talked and all of that stuff.
I mean, yeah, we reminisced a little bit, but it was a lot of meeting of new people too. So intertwining of different friends. So that was fun. I've tried, before we get into the rest of everything about Country Heritage, I've tried several of their wines. Some of my favorites that I did not try this time because I already knew that I really enjoyed them were the cranberry Riesling, Heritage White, which, did you end up trying that one at all?
No, I tried the cranberry Riesling, not the Heritage White.
Okay, and you didn't like that one?
It wasn't bad, it just wasn't my thing.
And then I think I've had the Heritage Rose also. All right, so let's move on. We talked a little bit about how the outdoors kind of spans everywhere. There is a stage set up there are some local bands. They have live music every Friday and Saturday night from 6 to 9 p.m. Some of the bands are local. Some of them I didn't really find much information about. But if you have a chance, go to the Country Heritage website and just check out this, I would call it a complex that they have. They've got like picnic tables, they've got fire pits that you can actually reserve, and then there's like this stage pavilion down, and it's like all sloped down so you can still see the performers even if you're back far away. So that's really cool. We definitely want to go sometime for one of their live
They had
events.
like these ponds. It was very scenic.
Yes. And you're right off of a highway, but you can't even tell.
I didn't know we were off the highway. I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, we were directly off the highway, but you have no idea because it feels so secluded. So that's really cool.
And so some of us with maybe some anxiety issues worry about parking. There was plenty of parking. They had a huge parking lot.
Mm-hmm. And I know on the times that I have been there when it's busy, I think they like park people down the lane.
Oh, good. That's even better. That's even more. There's a lot of,
like you just pull up the side.
There's a lot of places where you could park there, and then they had lots in the back too.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is why I don't like to do things in downtown areas.
Can you parallel park?
No.
I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not. We talked about when we were talking about the different breweries and stuff, and I think this is just going to be a topic that we kind of work into any place that we visit. Does this winery work in its location, in the town, in the city, in the area that it's in? Does it work?
Hells yeah. It was busy at 1 p.m. when we got there, or 2 p.m. when we got there.
Yeah.
And by the time we had left, the police were showing up to,
like direct traffic,
keep everybody calm.
So
we had caused such a commotion.
Yes, that is definitely why they were there.
And Fort Wayne's like a big enough town.
There are several different colleges. Fort Wayne is a big place. I think it's like the second largest city in Indiana. So this is one of 3 wineries, I think, in that area. So I'd say they're doing really well.
What else do we need to say? I've learned that apparently I'm very talkative after a bottle of wine.
Yes. And then this is kind of unrelated, but sort of related. After the fact, we came home and we had a movie night with a bunch of our friends who went with us, and it was a good time. We watched a couple of horror movies, and I may have screamed a few times in the middle of the movies, even though it was 2 movies that I've already seen before. I still screamed at the top of my lungs at certain parts, which was a little embarrassing, but
you screaming was more scary than what happened in the movie.
It was mostly comical. Oh, I scared the shit out of myself.
God.
But it was a good time. I'm really happy that we've been able to get back out and start doing things and see friends that we haven't seen in a while, make new friends, all that type of stuff. And we're able to do it safely. So that's something that I'm really appreciating and didn't realize how much I did miss during COVID. So not that COVID has stopped, but being vaccinated, I feel like we have a little more independence to protect ourselves. So
I think I'm definitely going back, Morgan, because now I need cider, and I'm really sad I didn't try it while I was there.
Yeah, I want to try a lot more of just the dries, and I need to just suck it up and try the dry reds because I think I will like them.
So we need to go back for another tasting.
Yeah. And we need to just continue to tour the great city that is Fort Wayne because they have numerous breweries. I know of at least 1 distillery and lots of like food hotspots. So we need to
step up our game.
Yes. I believe this is going to become a staple of the Distractaholics podcast. It's just going out and doing shit. And I'm so happy that we're able to do that.
That's good. We need that because we're introverts. So
yeah, and judgy.
I'm not judgy. I don't care. Everybody do them until it affects my life or one of my friends. You can be judgy. I told you, I rely on you to tell me the truth. Because I think my other friends would sugarcoat it, since I don't have that many other friends. So.
Key on the other friend. You're making new friends now, though. I'm making you make new friends. Mom. You're welcome. All right. So what's been distracting you these past couple weeks? Oh, did we tell the people what we're doing? People.
Oh, yes.
Distractaholics listeners. Due to me starting a full-time job and Tyler's work being insane, we have decided to start releasing episodes every 2 weeks because I don't know that we will able to bring the energy to the podcast if we are trying to do it every week, because mainly I just come home and sleep after work. So
You say that like it's a bad thing.
yeah. So every 2 weeks, please don't stop listening to us because we appreciate you and we're having so much fun doing this and we want to continue to do this and we want to continue to grow. So every 2 weeks, tune in and we will be there.
We might also be doing some
With something
exclusive video stuff too. So make sure you listen to what we say and maybe check out YouTube from time to time.
Yeah, it would be cool if while we're at one of these locations, if we can do like a live video or something.
Back to what's distracting us. Okay, I thought about it.
Yes. Okay.
I thought
What do
about
you
it.
got?
I don't remember. I'm distracted already.
Well, how about I'll go first. So
Okay, good.
I checked out the Fear Street trilogy on Netflix and I loved it, which we may do an upcoming video on that, so I won't divulge too much, but I really enjoyed that entire trilogy. I just finished listening to an audiobook. That's the one great thing about having an hour commute to and from work, is I get to listen to books. I finished The Silent Patient. If anyone's read it, let me know your thoughts. It was okay. I liked the last 2 hours of it, maybe. It had a good ending. It was kind of predictable, but if anyone's read it, I want someone to discuss it with. So email us about it. You can message me on Instagram, whatever. I don't know what else has been distracting me. I think that's been about it. I've been learning a lot at work and I'm really enjoying it so far. So that's awesome. And Tyler, have I given you enough time to think?
Yes. Distracting me at this present time, Supernatural. I have been binging this series. I'm currently almost at the end of season 8. There are 15 total seasons. I will have finished it before Morgan. Season 13,
I've been
episode
trying to
9.
finish. I've been trying to finish it for the past 2 years and can't do it. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, I also forgot to add that the last season of Atypical is out, and so I've been watching that as well.
And a new season of, oh shoot, I just forgot the name. Pause. Also, can we go LARPing sometime?
I'd be down. It's something that I've always wanted to do.
Never Have I Ever is another series. It's by Mindy Kaling. I really enjoyed it. I like Mindy. So I thought it was really good the first season. I don't know, it might be too rom-com-y for you, but I like the awkward. The girl that plays it's a very awkward teen, and I can relate. In the second season that just came out, plus Atypical, so there's like so much good stuff coming out right now. And Fear Street.
When we were teenagers, don't you think we all kind of felt that we were awkward and weird, even if we weren't actually awkward and weird? We all just kind of had that feeling. I wonder what that's like.
I don't know. I couldn't play sports, so I couldn't tell you.
Just because you played sports doesn't mean you're not awkward and weird.
Okay, well.
Not that I know. All right, what else?
My brain is hurting.
So it's funny that you bring up the rom-com stuff because I'm going on vacation in the next less than a week now. Going up to northern Michigan, and I've been looking for books to read because that's one of my favorite things, to just lay and do nothing, lay on the beach and read a book, lay under our big tree and read a book. And so I was looking for books all day today and reading the descriptions, and everything has to do with like a romance this, a romance that. And I'm like, dear God, I don't want to read that. I just want to read a good book. I don't like romance.
Okay, married old lady.
It's just like, I feel like there always has to be some tragic love triangle, love story in so many different types of books, and I don't want to read about that.
You don't think that's a real thing?
Any rant over what I think people want to read about it, but I don't. Rant over, I'm sorry. It was just something I thought about because I was really annoyed while I was searching for books earlier. Which, if you don't know, if you have Amazon Prime and you have a Kindle, you can rent books from Amazon Prime. You can rent up to 10 books at a time and read them for free if they're included, which is awesome. That way I'm not spending millions of dollars in books every month.
Pro tip, everyone.
Pro tip.
Other than that, distracting me, work, and I made some t-shirts. Oh, and we have a new logo. Oh my gosh. We didn't even talk about it.
We have new.
I don't know that we're going
to... Our old one just wasn't good enough for Tyler.
That's not what happened. So I don't know that we're going to change the cover art. I just wanted a logo that I could use for avatars and like my picture on things. And now we have this new fancy logo that is on this shirt that I'm wearing that the people listening can't see.
It's cute.
I think that's it for me.
Okay. Yeah, so wrap up Country Heritage, ending and not talking anything wine related. That's your Distractaholics though for you, am I right?
Yes. Morgan, tell people where they can find us again in case they forgot.
Again, you can find us at YouTube, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Distractaholics.com. You can hit us up on Instagram, which I would love for you to do. You can email us at distractaholics.gmail or
distractaholics@gmail.com.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, give us some love. We love hearing from you. If you have any recommendations around the mid to north, kind of just the western Ohio area to the northeast Indiana area to southern Michigan area, any of those places that you think we should check out, let us know and we would be happy to.
So in summary, go check out Country Heritage and the best wine I've ever had.
And you'll probably see us there.
That's true. Okay. Bye.
Goodbye.